G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is probably another Shimpaku juniper that you probably haven't seen before. It's not one of my nicest. It was just an airlay done many years ago again, and this time I've really twisted it up and tried to make a little cascade out of it. As you can see, there's an airlay up here. Now I wanted to show you what can happen with an air layer. So you can see this is unfortunately, looks like it's dying. I think we've had some really hot days lately, and it's starting to cook some of the air layers. Good news is there is roots on this side of the tree in here. So what I'm going to do I need to get this out of this and let those roots take over and make sure this bit survives. So plan is I'm going to remove that air layer today, and then I want to show you this tree and what we can possibly do with it and some of the ideas. I'm not totally convinced of this kind of cascading look. I'm possibly thinking changing it, making it a little radi style somehow, changing the angle maybe. There's lots of ideas you can have with this tree, but at the moment it is what it is at the moment. Hopefully you guys can see that in the camera. It's a big twisting, it's quite nicely twisted and bent, and it's sitting in there at the moment. I was just thinking about creating a tree in here, a twisted up little cascade. However, I'm not hugely convinced. There's a little bit of dead bit. Let's get rid of those. But anyway, first thing is I'm going to get rid of that air layer because it looks like it's dying. So I don't want it to die. So there's roots on this side, and I'll show you that in a few minutes. Let's just get this off. I've got my saw ready, so I'll transfer it pretty quickly. Let me just be very gentle. There's my branch cutters. Let me just check. Alright. Easily come off. Let's just make sure this is nice and okay. So you can see the roots on this side. Hopefully you can see that. Probably needed a few more, but it is what it is. Let's get the tree. Let's get this air layer doing its thing, and not risk losing it. So I'm just trying to be very gentle here and cut the middle bit out inside there. So that's it. So I'm just going to get into some soil, and I'll be back in a second. Okay. Alright, so I'll put that air layer away. Got a nice gin in here that I can create. I'm not going to create anything up here. I don't want anything. I want it all to be about this side. This is the tree. But let's think of some ideas. Let's think of, do we keep it like that? I think I had it at this angle so you can see it comes down. I don't want to go, you can't do it like that. It looks straight at you. I don't like that. You want to see the angle of it. So something like that. Let me just check. Yeah, something like that. Haven't really done much here. There is some wire on it, but there isn't much there. Do we do that? Do we probably do that? Get a bit more of an angle on it, and have it a bit more that way, like more semi-cascade rather than a full cascade. The other thing I was trying to do is seeing if I can hold this all so I don't drop the soil. Is can we transform it into a little radi? Stand it right up to it. Possibly. I am tempted to do this more this way, more a semi-cascade look. More semi-cascade rather than a full cascade. However, that looks quite nice. I just think a full cascade, it's sometimes very hard to keep alive the really low branches. As you see in cascades, always the cascade kind of dies first. But yeah, I'm thinking about changing it to that angle. Really enhances the trunk movement as well. If we get a full literati, that's a possibly cool tree too. I just don't know how the roots will behave in that sense, because we're pretty much turning the tree upside down. And I don't think it really gives it that look it needs. I think a semi-cascade possibly is the better option. Something like that. Yeah, maybe. Let's work with that and see what we come up with. It's going to be hard because this pot is a bit awkward. So I wanted to twist that back up a little bit. Yeah. So maybe I'm just trying to this pot is really annoying. I have to get somebody to prop it up, so let me think of a way to prop this up in the right angle, because this pot is very unusual. It's a roundish kind of pot. Yeah, I'm losing the soil. Anyway, so yeah, let me try and work through that, and let me try and get that as the tree I want to try and create. I want to see this trunk though, so I want to see this movement. Yeah, I don't know if it comes up in the camera very well, but this goes back and comes around and comes around and comes out, so it's got some really good movement. Yeah, it's a tricky one. Do I keep it as cascade? That's another option. Oh, I'm in two minds, but that's the beauty of this. Everyone's gonna have a different opinion. Everyone's gonna have a different idea. I don't know if you guys can see that. Something like that. Anyway, this is the beauty of it all. This is like on the fly, having a look at a tree, cut off the air layer. Now what have I got? I've got a tree that can have multiple options. Literati all the way up. That's not a bad idea actually. Lots of things to do. Anyway, what I'll first do is probably clean up this area. Maybe something will come out, something will pop up at me, and we'll have a look. So I'm going to imagine, whoop, and that's why this pot is annoying. Maybe that is the cellar. Anyway, let me just see how these branches are. Let me clean up anything undergrowing down. Some of these areas are a bit browned off and dying, so that's unfortunate, but I think that'll be okay. It's not too bad. So we can always do that. Yeah, it's going to take some thought, this tree. So I might have to have a look. Let me have a close look at the tree, and I'll come back and and I'll show you what I've come up with actually. Other than keep you on the video. Okay. Alright, so what I decided to do was try and stabilize that just using a plastic pot into that angle of the semi-cascade. I had a look at some of these branches. I think having a nice defined first semi-cascade branch and a top would actually be the best outcome for this tree. I think it gives the tree a great chance to survive. It's almost a literati kind of semi-cascade, which I think will be cool. I just need to thin out a lot of the foliage, wire it out now, and let's see how it looks. But I hope you guys can see that. I'm going to try and twist it around so you can see it's not a bad tree in that sense when it's moved like this. You can't really see the trunk. I just had a look at the camera. It's very hard to see this trunk going backwards and coming around. But I guess once it's repotted into the new angle, it looked really good. So yeah, let me just now clean up the tree and wire it up in place, and then I'll come and show you the result, because it's going to take me a bit of time to wire this up. And I might have to take some of the wire off and put some heavier wire, because I found some of the wire is actually a bit too light. But yeah, I hope you guys can see that by taking off this air layer and having a relook at the tree, and probably thinking also what's the best interest of the tree as well. What's going to keep the tree healthy and strong. If I had the cascade, I reckon that a lot of that would have died off maybe, especially the lower branch. This way, it's got a heaps of chance to survive. Whilst the trunk is quite slender, there's too much foliage. Can you see that, guys? So that's why I need to thin it out and make it a bit more simpler. But that's what I'm trying to go for. I might be able to slip pot this. And that's a really nice little video. I might do a separate video on the slip potting of it, so you can see that I don't really touch the roots. I just maneuver the roots and change the angle of it. So we'll see how I can do that. But that might be a different video. But today I'm just going to clean this up, wire it up, and then I'll come and show you what I've come up with as a finished tree. Alright, be back in a minute for you guys, or in a second for you guys, but let me just wire this up and come back. Alright everyone, so I've done a rough wiring of the tree. You can see it actually in time it'll fill out quite nicely. I've got a nice pad, lower pad down here. I've got this upper little one that's growing, but I had to leave a lot of the foliage on. I didn't want to take too much off. I did take quite a bit already. I didn't want to go too excessive. There's some drooping foliage still. You know, if I got rid of it all, it'd be not much on it, and I don't want it to not survive. So hope you guys can see that. I'm going to just tilt it a little bit forward so you can try and see the trunk and the nice movement. I think this eventually, when it's repotted, will look quite nice. But I'm just going to leave it now and let it recover, and hopefully it gets really healthy and strong. And there's another nice little tree. And I might slip pot this because it's going to be annoying to try and water it at this angle. So I'm going to try and do a video on slip potting and see how you go. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed another video. Another Shimpaku juniper. You know how much I love these guys. So please follow the channel, subscribe, and yeah, click the little bell icon, because then you get notifications of new videos when I put them up. Alright guys, talk next time. See ya.